What's up, everybody? I'm Anthony.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Red, White, and Blue Life. So today is our first day back in a while. We took a little hiatus.
Yes.
Vacations.
Yeah. Got some life things going on.
Pregnancy
but
planning.
the news is we are back on the same schedule. Or I say we're starting our same schedule now so we can be more consistent for you guys.
So you 8 viewers out there, hopefully you got something to watch every week.
There we go. So this week we got something that's I think near and dear to both of our hearts.
Yes.
We got talking about Second Amendment issues. It's a couple things in the news right now. We got the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and we have the SCOTUS seeing the Second Amendment arguments.
Yes. Which we talked a little bit about.
We did. We talked, it was inclusive with the abortion and the other ones, but we're going to see what they had to say in regards to just this specific case.
And we may talk a little bit about our personal thoughts on the whole gun control issue as well.
It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kyle Rittenhouse, back in August of 2020, this should we call him a child?
I mean, technically he's under 18.
He's a
adolescent.
Adolescent, yes. This young adult brought it upon himself to go out into the streets of Kenosha. And he was wearing an AR-15, and he said that he was a certified medic, and he was running throughout the protests that were going on after the Blake shooting. And his goal was to prevent violence and help people in need during the riots that were going on when they were burning cop cars. And
yeah, he also offered his services to a car dealership there.
Right, because they were burning cars.
Yeah, so he actually spent time before this help cleaning up the mess from the rioters.
From the previous riots?
Yeah.
Because these ones happened right after Jake Blake. Shit, I probably shouldn't mess up his name. I'm a white guy.
But long and short of it is, he was there helping clean up it. Ran across this guy who was concerned about his business and said he'd help offer protection services, which I'm pretty sure is outside his wheelhouse. But
yeah.
But and also, I just to clarify, I don't think he's a paramedic.
No, I mean he's 17. Can you have an EMT license at 17?
I mean EMT. I don't know. Maybe EMT.
I don't know. We know a couple of EMTs. We could ask them.
Yeah.
Guess.
But
okay.
So he basically just offered his protection services there, and then that is when things went sideways pretty fast.
Well, okay, so he's 17 years old with a rifle, and a lot of people are kind of wondering if he was allowed to have said rifle in the first place. And he doesn't live in the state of Wisconsin. He lives in Illinois, right across the border. So there was some questions as to whether he could legally possess this rifle in Wisconsin in the first place.
He could possess it. Because it wasn't taken across state lines. I guess it was his buddy's rifle. Let him borrow it.
So it didn't come from his house.
Right.
It was his buddy who actually technically apparently didn't know him very well. Because he had presented himself to his buddy as a 19-year-old certified EMT. So the guy didn't even know he was underage.
Well, he's not underage because he's allowed to have that rifle. It's not a NFAW weapon. It's not a short barrel rifle or anything like that. It's just a standard 16-inch barrel rifle. He's allowed to have it.
Well, what I'm saying is that he thought he was over 18 and a certified EMT. That's what made him part of this little group of armed helpers.
Well, either way, he's allowed to have the rifle.
He was allowed to have the rifle. He was allowed to carry the rifle.
But should he have been there? I don't think... Okay.
Well, that's kind of a loaded question because nobody should have been there.
Right, exactly. If it was my son... I'd probably say, you probably stay home.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Right, let's save that for people whose job that is.
Right.
But I think his heart was in the right place.
Yeah, definitely. He's an inspiring police officer. He wants to be a cop.
Yeah, so I think his heart's in the right place. He wanted there. He saw evil.
And he wanted to help prevent it from getting worse.
Yes.
And then, so he's rolling down the street, and he comes across this car dealership, right? The one that he said he was going to help protect. And there goes his first person.
Stateside kill.
Yes, stateside kill. So there was some FBI footage did you see that footage?
Yeah, I heard they weren't releasing it though.
Yeah, so I didn't see the actual foot. Well, I saw like a clip of it
on the UAV.
On the trial.
He couldn't call his in UAV. He only had 1 kill at that point. Everyone knows you need 3.
Yes.
But FBI had theirs up.
FBI had theirs up. They were looking at it. You could see Kyle running down the street, and then he stops and turns toward where Rosenbaum, the first person who was killed, is at. Something happened. Like a bag was thrown at Kyle or something. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, they were saying because it could have been like a Molotov cocktail. They were saying there's like a lot.
Bag or something. Yeah, they're not sure. Something was thrown in Kyle's direction. Kyle turned. Rosenbaum was apparently hidden at this point, and they weren't sure. You can't tell by UAV infrared images whether, there's no sound in that, so they don't know what happened there. But then Kyle turns away from Rosenbaum and starts heading back down the street, at which a third party unrelated to the incident shoots off 1 round. At the same time, Rosenbaum starts heading towards Kyle, our child with a gun, and then while Rosenbaum is heading towards him, he lunges at him, and Kyle shoots 4 shots, 1 in the head. No more Rosenbaum.
Mm-hmm. So, 1 down.
1 down, 2 to go.
Yeah. So that's our first one, and just a little. I'll talk about it at the end. I'll talk about the overall.
What? Just that Rosenbaum was a piece of shit?
Yeah.
We can talk
they're
about
all
that later. All 3 of them really weren't that great of people. Doesn't justify anything. Kyle's not judge and jury. He doesn't get to shoot who he wants. It doesn't.
I'm just saying this guy probably was not a great loss. Pedophile in my book, you're scum. So
I'm surprised he survived jail.
Yeah. I'm sure they had him separated or something. Probably. So I guess the cat's out of the bag now. Yeah, he pedophile, multiple counts. I'm not going to get into too much of the detail, but he also did have. Yeah.
He did touch a butthole.
Without consent.
Of
so it's the big deal.
Was that person underage?
Yeah, the ages range from 5 to 11.
That's gross.
Yeah. So I'm going to say no big loss in my book. So
yeah, no, I'm not super mad about that.
Also, he does have behavioral health issues, bipolar, it said in there. So
doesn't give you the right to touch buttholes.
No. I was saying more to the fact of even if he did have the gun, he's not allowed to be in possession of the firearm.
Right.
Anyway.
So he didn't have a gun. He was unarmed, except he was going
to get it.
They're saying that he was trying to take Kyle's gun.
Right.
Which he did not succeed. Well, he caught part of it with his forehead.
Yeah. Yeah. But he couldn't have been in possession of the gun anyway. No. He should have not even been dealing with it anyway.
No, and he had made threats earlier that night to the guy who recruited Kyle, saying that if he catches any of you motherfuckers alone, I'm going to kill you guys.
Okay.
So, there was a threat to kill, and then he made an advance towards the weapon to try to take it.
And then do what with it? The assumption would be
would be to kill.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah. So, after this, moving on.
Kyle takes off down the street. He's going away from the scene. He says to try to find police so that he could, say, hey, this happened, and get them to investigate.
Which is believable.
For sure.
That's what happened at the end anyway.
Right. So he's running away. And, of course, during the time when he's running away, for people who didn't know what was going on, everyone's freaking out and saying that guy just shot somebody without knowing the situation.
Well, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. To be honest, if I didn't see the altercation, just heard shots and seen a dead dude and a guy with a gun, I wouldn't know either.
Right, but I also wouldn't go towards them.
No, fuck that. Unless I had my gun. But that's a different story. And even then, I wouldn't go towards them, right. But bet your ass I'd be
not make sure he doesn't
prepared.
Come towards me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, lead on to the next situation, which really breaks down extremely fast. So he's taking off down the street. Everyone's yelling, hey, that guy shot someone. And enter dude with a rock, apparently, who clocks Kyle in the back of the head, knocks his hat off, and then he still runs, doesn't turn towards this man, and still runs. He trips over something in the street, falls onto his back, at which point a man identified as Jump Man jumps into the air to kick Kyle in the face, which he did. And another man with a skateboard, at the same time as Kyle's getting kicked, tries to hit him with a skateboard.
Trying to deal bodily harm.
For sure.
Which is what the courts are or was what they're arguing.
I watched the... what was it called? The opening arguments, and the the defendant's lawyer said that he was trying to remove his head with the skateboard, which I feel
You got to swing for the fences on that one.
that's a little rough. And they did say, he did object to that statement. No, the prosecutors objected and said that was kind of, how could you tell he was trying to remove his head?
Might be a little bit of hyperbole.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, so they, so Jumpman comes in, tries to kick him in the face. Skateboard guy, also known as Anthony Huber, tries to hit him with a skateboard, at which point Kyle takes one shot, hits him in the chest, and then comes in the third guy, whose name is Gage.
Killing him.
Oh, yeah, he died. That was...
Spoiler alert. He's dead.
That's 2 dead. And then one other guy who is in the case, he testified, which didn't go well for him, but we'll get there. You can see him approach. I mean, all this breaks down in a matter of seconds.
Like 4 seconds, 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like from the point where the guy hits Kyle in the back of the head with the rock to the last shot fired is
8
seconds.
Yeah.
It all happens super quick. So the guy comes up to him, approaches him with both hands up, approaches Kyle, which is on his back with a rifle after he just shot Anthony Huber.
Right. At this point, Kyle muzzles him.
Well, yeah, he has the gun aimed at him, and then when he has his hands up, you can see Kyle put the gun down, aim it back towards the ground, and then Gage, I forgot his last name, it's weird. I don't know. Anyways, Gage reaches behind his back, pulls out a pistol, and starts bringing it towards him, at which point Kyle shoots 1 round into his bicep.
Which at that point, he's lucky to only get 1 round.
For sure. Yeah. And in the bicep. He's lucky it was in the bicep.
Yeah.
And not in the forehead.
Yeah. Lucky he was sitting down.
Yeah. And so he gets shot, which then he backs up. Everybody backs up at that point. You see like 5 people put their hands up and back away from Kyle. He gets up off the ground, turns and continues down the street towards police officers. He approaches police officers with this gun not in his hands, both hands up, and they told him to go home.
Yeah. And that's where...
So he went home, told his mom, and because he's 17.
That's probably something you should tell your mom.
Hey, Ma, I shot 3 people. I killed 2. I don't know if he knows he killed Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
Gone. I killed 2 people, and that's what happened. And then they both go that night to the police station to turn him in. End of story.
Yeah. So also real quick on the Huber guy, he was also a shipper too. Multiple counts of domestic violence, strangulation. So
his girlfriend said he's a good guy, though.
That's
maybe he beat that into her or what?
Oh man, too soon.
Too soon. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I'm obviously not saying these guys deserve to die, but I'm saying I'm not shedding tears over it.
Not super pissed. Which brings us to our last guy, Gage.
So yeah, he's still standing. Also, he did not have a concealed permit for that night either, so he shouldn't even have a gun.
So he shouldn't have had the gun because it was concealed.
The only one that
in his waist.
should have had the gun was the guy that had one.
Yes.
And that's also...
I can't say that if I was in Kyle's position, I would have done anything different in any of those cases.
I mean, I wouldn't have been there.
Well, I mean, if I was in his
position,
position,
I had to be there.
If I was there,
there would have probably been more rounds fired for me.
Yeah.
Especially on the last guy. If you're brandishing a firearm in my direction with
you're gonna get
what I would interpret as hostile intent,
And I mean, if you've ever shot in a gun, it's hard to be accurate under duress like that. Number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, it's also hard to keep yourself from continuing to shoot.
Yeah.
So I mean, he kind of showed some self-control by just letting off 1 round. And
I don't know if it was self-control or the fact that he has stressors that he's never had in his life before. Hasn't been in the military, hasn't been deployed where you're under constant stress like that, taking lives.
I don't know. So, dude, if you were standing above me, I'm on my back on the ground with a rifle, right, and you pull a gun.
Yeah, there's also
it's going to be a multiple round.
No, for sure. But I'm saying they had the disparity of force. He had a lot of things that I think. I don't know how he processed it all so fast. Maybe he was just reacting.
And he reacted quite well, actually.
Yeah, I mean, 3 hits.
Everybody who was hit was in attack mode toward him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So last guy, a lot of things are on TikTok right now. They're showing how they had him up on a stand. They're saying, did he not shoot you until you point your gun at him and advance toward him? And he was like, yes, correct.
Of course. And it's on tape. Like, you can see him. As
so he was like trying to beat around the bush too. Like, did you chase
Were you
him?
chasing him?
Yeah, he's like,
No.
But you advanced in the same direction at him at a greater speed. You know what I mean? So he was beating around the bush. But
He was, for sure. And then the prosecutor was like, so you heading in the same direction as Kyle had nothing to do with the fact that he was heading in that direction?
So he did the old fuck around, and he found out.
He did fuck around, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's it.
That's the one. So how do you think the case is going to turn out?
Fine. Which is
Fine.
Another thing I want to talk about. Fine for Rittenhouse.
You don't think he's going to get any charges?
No.
I don't think so either.
Because another thing is, I think they only brought the charges because of social media.
It was all political reasons.
Right. So
100%.
The fact that they shouldn't have brought it in the first place only hurts their prosecution. Like, should he have got a first-degree manslaughter charge? Probably not.
Probably not. No, I don't think if this happened anywhere else in any other circumstances
Or time.
Yeah, I don't think he would have even seen jail or charges at all.
Right.
Especially with the tape being there, and I mean, he probably would have got arrested until the tape was produced.
Oh yeah, well, if you shoot someone, you're gonna get arrested.
Right, and then once the tape is produced, and you can see, like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna hit him in the face with a skateboard.
Right.
Or, so like all of it.
Which brings me to another point: is that people lost their jobs donating to his GoFundMe,
Which is ridiculous.
especially considering the fact that after this, he had to spend, I'm guessing, at the bare minimum, 6 figures to hire this attorney.
I'm sure.
So he had to take out a small house mortgage to pay for this attorney that he shouldn't have been in the first place.
Right.
So people donated to him, and specifically, there's one police lieutenant in Virginia who lost his job for donating $25 to him. So if he does get off, and that means that he's innocent,
could he countersue?
No, what I'm saying is, people should sue the people that lost their jobs. Should be able to sue.
That's wrongful termination in its own.
You would imagine.
I mean,
unless he donated in official capacity.
Yeah,
you can't represent your employer,
right? And you definitely can't use state funds. Like, he couldn't donate $25.
Yeah,
from
that
the
I can
police
see. Like,
department.
yeah. But if it's his own personal money and he just posted on social media that he donated to him.
He's a cop. They make like $15 an hour. He had to work like an hour and a half to give Kyle that money.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't know how lieutenants
some
get
are
paid,
some
but
are
it's
pretty,
a little rough.
lieutenants do all right, but some departments are pretty
but
not ideal.
Can he countersue the state of Wisconsin for lust?
I don't know. Probably not.
If he comes up
probably
innocent.
not.
For like legal fees, he couldn't.
I know you can countersue for legal fees if, like, for civil suits, if someone brought you to court that you shouldn't have, you can countersue for your fees. But if it's the state bringing it against
criminal
you,
charges,
because it's against the state is saying that he did this,
right?
So I don't know how it works. Hopefully, I never have to find out.
No, I hope I don't either. Yeah. But I'm prepared if I do.
Yeah. So, which brings us to our next topic. Is the Supreme Court heard the oral arguments for the the New York NRA, the two guys that were suing for their argument is saying that shall issue or may issue permits are unconstitutional.
Which, I mean, I don't know. Should we talk a little bit about our personal views?
Sure.
Okay. I personally think the Constitution was very, very exact with what it wanted, with what they wanted.
Yeah.
To which you can bear arms.
Yeah.
I don't think there was supposed to be any restrictions on that.
Right. That's why I moved almost 2,000 miles.
Yeah, but I think like zero restrictions.
No, I'm concurring. I'm saying I believe in it so much I moved from my home state.
So do you think? I think you asked me one time, could you own a tank?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you should. I don't. I think you should. We have a fellow at work